Missing the sea a little too much? Well, don't worry, because today I'll show you the craziest sea moments.
Don't let that thing on this boat!
From meeting some bizarre animals to spotting sea monsters.
Mystery creature washes up on a South Georgia beach and it has everyone scratching their heads.
Stood up real quick and I said, oh my gosh, it was kind of like we saw a dinosaur.
So we walked over to see what it was and we saw this dead animal. So let's take a picture of this thing. It looks crazy.
And even encountering some eye-opening creatures. Dive along to witness the insane discoveries made at beaches that would give you chills. Whoa! Monster in Lough Foyle. Are sea monsters real or not? This clip might make you rethink.
What is that?
This huge, mysterious creature was captured by a cameraman in Ireland. A film crew shooting a short movie in Ireland's Lough Foyle took this video that appeared to be a sea monster. It moved speedily as if it was on a mysterious journey. This sight was truly a once-in-a-lifetime experience for the team, and they probably did not want to experience it again.
What was that?
Was it a real Loch Ness monster? What do you think? Angry sea lions. As people were peacefully enjoying themselves at the beach, they encountered something strange. The two sea lions that looked like rock at first suddenly started to act up. While the online community still believes they attacked with the intentions to hunt, the truth is something else. Actually, the beachgoer, while trying to grab some snaps, went too close to the resting sea lion. Since it was beginning of their mating season, the lion was triggered and reacted this way. The onlooker, after seeing how the creatures reacted, decided to take a step back and protect themselves. Strange creature. A group of friends taking a walk along the shore found something that will disturb your sleep for days. Peacefully strolling, they came across a group of people standing around something strange. A weird mythical creature carcass that had washed up at the beach. The people took pictures of it and wondered what it could be. But it just gave no answer to all those questions that arose at that point.
It was really gross, and people in the media do tend to have a dark sense of humor.
With a bloated, dark-colored body, a long dog-like tail, and elongated fingers, it was almost impossible to identify what the animal was. What was even more astonishing was the face that included a small beak. Was it a bird or a sea creature? Or was it a failed experiment of some scientists that tried to mix dog and bird genes to make a hybrid? Unknown creature found. An alien found in the sea? Let's find out. This man, while boating somewhere in the sea, came across this mysterious alien-like creature. Even though this animal was tiny in size, it had a horrifying face. Initially called parasites, researchers later said it was actually a parastoid. Having a spider-like body, this transparent creature was actually called Pheronema. Pheronema is a genus of small deep-sea hyperoid amphipods. They usually make their home inside the body of a sea slug. Just imagine how scary it would look if it was in a bigger size. Mysterious dome on beach. Another discovery of the Australian beach. A weird dome-shaped huge object was seen washed up at the shore of Greenhead Beach in Australia. It was the size of a car and looked somehow eroded. Authorities also said that it could be an object from space that had fallen down into the sea. Or maybe it's the space junk from a foreign rocket. The Australian Space Agency, after liaising with the space authorities of other countries, came up with the theory that it might be an object that fell from an Indian rocket while launching a satellite. This is probably one of the greatest stories where space and sea become one. Don't you agree? Tongue-eating louse. These fishermen in Hawaii found something unusual in the mouth of a fish.
It substitutes itself for the fish's tongue.
A tongue-eating louse. This parasite does not only eat the tongue of its predator, but there is something even more creepy about this creature that will shock you.
Wow, it's mind-blowingly gross.
It makes its home inside the mouth of its prey, replacing the tongue by its own body. It eats all the food the predator comes across or tries to eat. Does that make the fish a zombie then? How does it survive remains a truth untold. Gift from dolphins. A man, while fishing on a boat in the sea, found something strange in the water. A dolphin tangled badly in a net. The man decided to help it. After carefully bringing him up to the boat, he freed him from the net and gave it a goodbye kiss before letting it go back. The happy free dolphin, after swimming happily here and there, the friendly creature decided to give the man a little gift. It came back with a stick-type sea plant in its mouth and carefully moved it in front of the man. This proves how dolphins are the friendliest creatures on the planet. Creepy dolls on beach. We all love to play with dolls as kids, but if you find them in parts on a beach, you may not want to play with them. A group of researchers, while looking for endangered species of sea life, discovered several creepy doll parts that probably washed up at the shore.
The little creepy baby doll. Eee! Okay.
Some had barnacles growing out of their eyes, seaweed on hair, cracked limbs. They were definitely not those pretty Barbie dolls you used to groom and dress up in your childhood. Where these dolls came from remains a mystery.
Look at that. A leg.
Sinkhole on beach. Do you know about sinkholes? Today you will. In September 2015, a near-shore landslide, also known as a sinkhole, appeared on the Queensland beach that astonished natives. The hole, even though it didn't harm anyone, was said to be 7.5 meters deep. This sinkhole appears when the rainfall seeping through the soil absorbs carbon dioxide and reacts with decaying vegetation, creating slightly acidic water. This water moves through cracks and creates these huge cavities. Authorities advised the natives and children to stay away from the areas, as there was a chance of more landsliding. Otter jumps on boat.
Hey, I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm not gonna hurt you. You're good.
While enjoying his trip, this man stumbled upon a furry creature coming towards him. It was an otter, and even jumped on the boat.
Come on up, bud.
Shaking himself to dry the furry body, this little dude looked a bit confused and scared. And that's when the reason for the furry creature jumping onto the boat was seen.
Oh my gosh.
A huge whale was on its way to hunt the little otter. It was right under the boat, just waiting for it to come down. But failing on that attempt and giving up, the whale decided to go back. Mud skippers. Fish walking on the seashore? Yeah, and it's true. Though we only know about how fish can swim, we often neglect the walking species such as the mud skipper. This fish, found mostly in Japan, can actually walk on the surface near the water, but typically in muddy areas. It's an amphibian that can leave the water and move into a more dry environment on land, still able to breathe. Just like here, when tiptoeing, this creature makes its way from one patch of mud to another and then hid itself deep down the floor. Otters entertaining surfers. While surfing in the sea, a group of friends came across something astonishing. They stumbled upon an otter. Known to be one of the most playful animals, this little carnivorous mammal from the Lutherinae subfamily amused the surfers and played with them. Jumping onto the board to enjoy some swings or jumping onto one another just to peacefully lay down and enjoy the view. This furry animal truly entertains several people. Squid comes for surfer. This surfer came across something swimming right under the board that intrigued him. A huge squid just beneath the body. It looked like it was trying to reach the surfboard. Well, it turned out to be true. After a few attempts, the squid grabbed the board and shook it, making the man take a dip into the water. Luckily, that was all, and the guy safely came back and learned his lesson of never messing with a squid. Sea monster. Are sea monsters real? Do they really exist, and what if it's not just a myth? This man, while swimming alone at a beach in the US, encountered something that will send chills down your spine. He was enjoying himself when he saw a giant animal that looked like a sea monster coming towards him. He was unaware of the massive creature silently joining him. The man didn't get a chance to examine the creature, as he was already running for his life. Was it a shark or a whale? Or something else? It remains a truth untold. Bizarre creature in sea. This man, while paddling his boat, came across this mysterious translucent creature that left him surprised. It was a sea salp, also known as sea grapes because of the barrel-shaped structure they possess. They live in long and stringy jelly-like colonies, normally found in southern oceans. The man carefully grabbed it and was amazed by its 10-meter length that covered his whole hand. As pretty as the creature looked, you would not want to hold it for a long time. So he decided to leave it back to its world.
Some sort of salp or something.
Fish beaching themselves. Thousands of fishes beaching themselves? A sight like this is truly a once-in-a-lifetime moment, isn't it? This Grunion fishes are known to appear at the shore to beach themselves when it's time to mate. When females are ready to lay eggs, they beach themselves on the warm beach sands and drill their bodies straight down to lay eggs safely beneath the surface. The Grunion fish managed to lay eggs, fortunately, before they could be eaten, so their efforts didn't go to waste. Beach covered with shells. People at Lido Beach discovered something rare. Millions of shells that have been washed up at the seashore because of the waves and tides.
I found a lot. I've never seen so many shells.
It looked like the beach had a shell rain at night because the shells were so pretty. Locals decided to collect them into their bags.
That expectancy, you never know what you're going to find next.
Even some rare shells were found, which are not easily spotted anywhere. People believe that you need to have a good hand and a good eyesight if you want to catch one of those. So, have you ever had a chance of catching them?
Be careful because they're sharp.
Gold finds on beach. Ever thought of finding jewelry on the beach? Well, this man did. After a Swedish shipwreck in the sea, this man went out to look for some stuff with his radar. But who knew he would actually come across it? Initially stumbling upon some bottle lids, he found random rings, some brooches, a gold bracelet, and even some broken gold watches. All of that stuff must have been from the shipwreck, the belongings of the people on it. Well, a trash for someone is a treasure for someone else, just like this man. Could they be real gold? Or was it just regular metal? What do you think? Barotrads encounters strange creature. Fishing gone wrong? This famous YouTuber named Barotrads encountered something strange while fishing on his boat somewhere in the sea. When he noticed that something was pulling the fishing rod towards itself, he pulled the rod with force. But what he saw truly left him speechless. A creepy snake-like sea creature with a huge hole for its mouth, two elongated sharp fins as if it opened its body in two halves. It even had a length greater than Barrett's arm. Was it a sea monster or not? Remains a mystery. Wild boar attack. You probably never thought of encountering a wild boar on a beach. I did not as well until I came across this. This man, while strolling peacefully along the shore, stumbled upon a wild boar. It was all fine until the man decided to go near the animal, and this was probably his biggest mistake, because he was already having a hard time finding a mate in the breeding season. The boar rushed towards him and made him run for his life. Thankfully, the man was speedy and dodged the boar. Dolphins save swimming spot. It's not just us humans that love to protect our comfort space. The animals could do the same. Like this dolphin was found anxiously jumping out of the water while trying to push a group of people that were swimming in its territory. Now, the dolphins do this for two main reasons. Number one, they do this to defend their territory. And secondly, it happens when the male wants to defend the female, mostly during mating season. What was the reason here? I am leaving it on you guys to decide. Killer whale rescued. As dangerous as a killer whale sounds, they sometimes need help too. This helpless animal was found asking for help along the shore. When a group of people saw it, they rushed to save it. Because of the average weight of about 8,000 to 12,000 pounds, if they are washed off at the shore, their odds of making it back to sea are minimal. Looking at the condition of the poor creature, it looked like water pouring on it first would be the best solution, and the beachgoers did so. After a few hours, the team was successful in helping the whale go back to its home. How it ended up at the shore was never found. Could it be sea tides that brought it here? Or was it running for its life from an even greater sea animal? I'm leaving it on you guys to decide. Whale carcass. A huge 30-foot-long whale carcass resting on the shore of a sea was discovered by a group of beachgoers.
Very interesting sight, and I kept asking my mom, can we go see the whale?
This gigantic animal was found expired for about 2 days until the team arrived to pick it up. People around the site were asked a few questions, and they told that they had never come across such a thing, so it was quite a sight for them.
It's so sad to see this kind of thing happen, wondering how this happened.
The reason for it appearing lifeless at the shore was assumed to be because of the sea currents or winds due to a storm that carried it to the coastline. However, the team is still trying to find out the exact reason for the whale's demise. Skeleton Coast. We know about the discoveries of skeletons underwater and deep down in caves, but have you heard of seeing them in an open beach? Well, today you will. A large group of skeletons was found lying at the shore of this sea in Africa.
One of the most exciting and isolated places I know, the northern part of the Skeleton Coast.
Investigation admitted that those bones, including animals such as seals and whales.
This is a seal, and over here, this is a whale rib bone.
These animal bones were everywhere that were probably floating up in the sea until they washed up at the shore. Weird, isn't it? Square waves. If you're enjoying your holiday swimming at a beach and you see a pattern like this, you might want to run away as far as possible. And here's the reason. These square waves found mostly near the island where the two seas intersect. Certain weather patterns make them appear in such a shape. While they look intriguing, you do not want to stumble upon any of these. The riptides are extremely powerful when this happens, and can easily drag people in the depths of the sea, which one cannot imagine. You better stay safe if you come across these then. Manta ray. Stingrays are said to be one of the little nasty creatures of the sea because their mood swings are just like a Gen Z teenager. Sometimes they'll swim around and play with you, but sometimes they'll find ways to make you run away. Well, it depends on the types of this creature. This man stumbled upon one too. Thankfully, it was a manta ray. They are one of the friendliest sea creatures that anyone would love to come across, even if it looks scary at the first glance. This sea animal is known to shower humans with kindness. Civil War cannonballs. In 2019, a couple stumbled upon something strange while walking along the seashore of South Carolina. They thought they came across some weird rocks, but going nearer to check deeply uncovered the truth. They were not some odd rocks, but real war cannonballs. After making sure of their existence, they called the authorities. The area where these cannonballs were found was blocked off by the explosive ordnance disposal experts for safety reasons. After investigation, it was found that the balls were safe, but to avoid any confusion, the authorities decided to dispose of them. Gigantic whale. This woman on board found something unusual just under her board. It was a gigantic whale. It looked like the whale was trying to grab the attention of the girl, just like your pet dog would do if he wants to play with him. The whale was gliding along the board initially, but what happened next will make you fall in love with these huge creatures. It started playing, moving its body a little as if performing several stunts, and even giving the boat a little push. This animal impressed the lady on board. Humpback whale encounter. Sea creatures have never failed to surprise people. This group of scuba divers, while boating, noticed something unusual in the sea. Jumping a bit, showcasing half of its body, the enormous humpback whale decided to say a little hello to them. This animal was a species of baleen whale with an average length of 46 to 56 meters, typically found in polar waters.
Oh my.
They are known to migrate towards the tropical waters to breed and give birth. Yeah, it does look cool when you sit at home with your popcorn and watch the video, but it was definitely not something the scuba divers would want to experience again. Sea turtle upside down. While enjoying a day at the beach, this family stumbled upon something weird. On getting closer to it, they realized it was a sea turtle.
I need help. Come back.
Being upside down, this poor creature couldn't go back to his home and was stuck at the beach for a long time. But as soon as the man saw it, he rushed to help it. He carefully removed the sand in which the huge animal was stuck, and then with the help of another family member, he pulled it out. He pushed it a little towards the sea, and that's where he had to say goodbye to the gigantic turtle.
Oh, wow.
Shark versus stingray. Tom and Jerry, but the sea version? Yes, something similar was seen at this sea. A shark was seen chasing a stingray, waiting for the perfect time to make its move. But the question was, who would win? After the attempt to catch the stingray, the shark seemed to be lost, as the stingray was nowhere to be found. Turns out the clever stingray hid beneath the sand that was mixed into the water as the shark jumped into it. So it was a tie, as both of them decided to separate ways and move back to their own journeys. Eyeless dolphin. Sea discoveries never fail to amaze us. This mysterious creature was found washed up at the seashore that disturbed the peace of many locals. Initially said to be a dolphin, researchers uncovered that this creature was more than just that. A finless, eyeless creature that probably lived in the depths of the sea where the light does not reach. Or maybe it could just be a dolphin born abnormal due to certain health problems. Nobody knows the truth. Was it really a sea monster? Man encounters sea monster. This real-life sea monster left people in shock. A man was peacefully fishing on his boat somewhere in the sea when he encountered something unusual. He heard a strange sound from behind, along with huge waves that came from the area. When he looked there, he didn't even get time to get a glimpse of it, as it returned back with the speed of light. But the camera captured the truth. It found a dark figure that jumped slightly out of the water and then back into the depths. What it truly was remains a mystery. What do you think about it? Was it a sea monster or was it some mythical creature from another world? Alligator on beach. The people who have never seen alligators always wish that they can get a glimpse of it. But if we ask those who have, they would definitely not want you to see one. This massive alligator was found on a Texas beach. It looked like the mythical creature Surbeck, who was said to be the protector and king of the River Nile. With its gigantic size, it truly left people astonished. It was seen munching on something, maybe a little fish that got caught near the shore or a bird flying near the sea. Toothy treasure. In June 2019, Harvey Wall found a strange discovery on Ocean Isle Beach near North Carolina. He found an odd, tooth-like object. This discovery was truly an eye-opening one for many explorers. After washing it carefully and examining it, Harvey found out it wasn't just a regular tooth. Its length of 6 inches left people thinking it might belong to some sort of sea monster. Some believe that it belonged to the one and only Megalodon, while some assumed it to be of some other hidden creature. Stranded octopus. This man found a little creature that looked like it was calling for help, a stranded baby octopus at the sea. The man carefully moved the helpless creature in a jar and then helped it move into the water. It took him a while to recover, but when it did, the fun part came. The little buddy did not swim quickly back to the sea, but instead, it came back to give him a little gift, a little hug on his left feet. Adorable, isn't it? Friendly shark. We normally hear sharks being dangerous creatures, but have you ever encountered a friendly, playful shark? Yes, they exist. This man, while swimming near the shore, saw a huge shark that just looked at him from afar, as if it was admiring him. It stayed far from the man, but kept suspecting the swimmer. Was it planning something else, or was it just a game it was playing? Maybe it wanted to play a little with the man. Who knows? Portuguese man-o'-war. You have probably heard of jellyfishes, but have you ever heard of a Portuguese man-o'-war? This creature, mostly found on the surface of a sea or ocean in tropical and subtropical areas, is a stingy creature. Although it looks like a jellyfish, it actually is a community of microorganisms. This 21-year-old student named Jelana Ubed rescues people on the beach by taking out all the man-o'-wars from the beach carefully and leaving them in water far away from people. But he does this at the risk of getting stung by the creature that delivers pain that can even cause a fish to expire. Brave, isn't he? Because if I were there, man, I'd probably run as far as possible from these. Horseshoe crabs. This man, while digging in the sand at the beach, pulled out something unusual, an alien-like sea creature. This turtle or spider-looking creature was said to be a horseshoe crab. Though it was nowhere near a crab, this animal was said to be the oldest species of creatures that is still alive. It even has fossil specimens dating back to over 450 million years. They might be scary looking, but these animals are actually one of the most harmless and calm creatures of the sea. So the phrase, "don't judge a book by its cover," might truly be written for them. Bizarre humanoid creature. On the 9th of July 2018, this man found something that will send chills down your spine. A humanoid bizarre alien. This creature was found in China by a man who filmed it with his friend. What's even more interesting is that it looked alive as it moved its little arms and legs. It looked like some mythical hidden creature that was washed up at the shore. Or maybe it was an alien that came from another planet. Who knows the truth? Blue dragons. This young man, while walking along the seashore of a sea, encountered something odd. When he looked closely, he found these small, mysterious creatures that looked like they needed to get back to the water. They looked like some vibrant, beautiful creatures with tiny tentacles. So he picked them up one by one and gathered them in a bottle. He even kissed a few before sending them all off to the sea. But that's when something strange happened. He was hospitalized the next day. The pale, sick man got to know those little animals were actually called blue dragons. One sting from these little buddies can cause nausea, vomiting, post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, and pain. You would not want to kiss them if you see them. Snake on beach. If you get to know that snakes are moving freely as the crabs on your favorite beach, would you still go there to enjoy your holidays? This man, while strolling at the seashore of the Tamara, found something that captivated his attention. At first, he thought that it was seaweed. To make sure what it was, he went closer and found it to be a snake.
What looks to be a black snake. So can you please make a phone call?
He considered it lifeless until it popped up its head. A long snake that was about to say hello to him was alive! It started slithering. Since it was a danger for the people on the beach, the man called the authorities that came to take it away from that location to place it somewhere it belonged. Man gets stung. This man, while walking along the shore, noticed something weird down at the beach. On getting closer, he saw bubbles coming out of the sand. Deciding to dig it a bit, he carefully checked and found a strange creature that looked like a scorpion-like shrimp. This animal, although it was tiny in size, moved quickly. The man got stung because of the anxious movements of the creature, but maybe it was trying to greet him, which did not turn out as the little buddy expected. The subscriber pick of the day. Jellyfish are one of the most interesting and calm creatures on the earth. One might think of it like the most innocent creatures to exist, but science says the contrary. This YouTube named Stevio decided to do stunts with a few jellyfish he found on the seashore. But what happened next is why he shouldn't have. As chill as these creatures look, they have long tentacles trailing from its body that can inject venom from thousands of microscopic barbed stingers. So if you come across one someday, you better not touch it. Comment down your favorite encounter. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.